How to get to 8% body fat. Last year, I managed to take my physique from roughly 25% give or take and lean down to sub 8% body fat, the leanest I've ever been, and worked with one of the biggest coaches in natural bodybuilding. Through that 7-month journey, I learned a lot of tips and tricks that allowed me to get to that single-digit body fat. Today, I'll be revealing those 5 secrets that allowed me to break through the 20%, 15%, and even 10% body fat ranges. Before we dive in, I wouldn't recommend getting to sub 8% unless you want to step on stage or be in your best shape for a photo shoot. Sub 8% body fat year-round is simply not realistic. But before we dive in, a lot of research and editing goes into making a video like this. I work my ass off. Just do me one favor, if you wouldn't mind. Gently bless the like button. I'd greatly appreciate it. If you enjoy this kind of content, subscribe and hit the notification bell if you're new. Let's kick it off. Step 1. Decrease your calories slowly. Every diet has one defining feature, is you have to eat in a caloric deficit. Energy balance. The simple science of fat loss. It dictates that your weight gain and weight loss is controlled by the balance in the relationship between the energy you feed your body via food and water and the energy it expends. This is measured in kilocalories. The average seasoned dieter who wants to get in shape will start at 25% caloric deficit and aggressively decrease their calories when they reach a plateau. After 8 to 16 weeks, the calories are too low and the diet is simply unsustainable. What I would recommend, 4 weeks before starting a diet, I highly recommend eating at a maintenance consistently with discipline that you would when you start your diet, cutting out all the cheat meals and training very hard. What tends to happen is your metabolism adapts to these calories and you tend to lose weight, especially if your training is on point because you're burning more calories through your activity. Let's say hypothetically, my maintenance calories are at 3,000 calories. In the first week of my diet, I would decrease my calories by 200 to 2,800 calories. Over time, slowly decrease your calories by no more than 100 calories. The only instance I drop my calories is when I've seen no changes after 7 to 10 days of dieting. This way you can maximize fat loss at each level of your caloric intake. In my experience, this also manages and avoids aggressive hunger spikes, helps maintain strength, and deters fatigue. Step 2. Walking. In my own personal experience, walking was my main form of cardio. I saw an accelerated rate of fat loss. You could see this comparing my 2019 competition prep, where cardio at the gym was my main form of cardio, versus 2020, where walking was predominantly my main form of cardio. Getting under 8% body fat was much easier walking. A 2017 study released by the Journal of Nutrition divided 82 overweight men and women into 2 groups for 12 weeks. Both groups were subject to a caloric deficit. However, the group that walked roughly 20 minutes every day, the results were that the group that included walking lost an extra 3.5 pounds of fat from 20 minutes of daily walking. Imagine if they included an extra 1 or 2 20-minute walks a day. This supports why I was able to drop weight at a faster rate. Walking taps mainly into fat stores for energy, whereas high-intensity exercises pulls much more heavily from carbohydrate stores. And this is also why some people think that low-intensity steady-state cardio is the best for losing weight. When it comes to losing fat, every calorie burned helps, so even relatively small amounts of walking will help you reach your goals faster. How to incorporate walking? 1. Simply go for a walk. I go for one either early in the morning, on the beach, or in the evening, or even both. Walk around your neighborhood and get 30 minutes in. If you can do 2 sessions, one in the morning and one in the evening, that will give you a huge chunk of steps. 2. Stand up every hour while awake and walk around the apartment. Sometimes I intentionally clean my apartment just to get more steps. 3. Any chance you get, walk. I've developed habits of parking further from where I want to go or walking to and from the gym. Over time, these habits develop. Walking in combination with a good diet and resistance training is great. Number 3, change your cheat days to refeed days. Refeeding is generally defined as a planned increase in caloric intake that typically occurs when dieting. REFEED can yield a myriad of psychological and physiological benefits, which includes a decreased risk of binge eating via hunger regulation and an increased motivation from boosted testosterone, dopamine, and leptin. The most powerful of these effects is the one that most people aren't familiar with. It relates to leptin, which regulates your hunger, metabolic rate, appetite, motivation, and libido, as well as serving other functions in your body. My personal experience with weekly refeeds and getting to 8% body fat is one. Having a more flexible meal plan once a week gives you physical and mental benefits. One of the main reasons I was able to diet for 7 months without struggling was because of that weekly break that I was getting. 2. With every refeed, it allowed me to have a boost of energy in training performance and in my day-to-day life. This overall increases the energy allowed for me to expend for the next 2 to 3 days after the refeed. I would see a decrease in my weight right after those refeeds too. How to set it up. Take your current caloric intake and increase it by 30%. This will provide enough of a surplus to confer the benefits of refeeding without adding too much body fat. Next, break the calories into the following macronutrient profiles. 0.8 grams of protein per pound of body weight. Research has shown protein plays a key role in body weight regulation through satiety related to diet-induced thermogenesis. As little dietary fat as possible, most recommendations are to stay at or under 40 grams of fat. Why? Fat is chemically similar to body fat, and thus your body prefers to store dietary fat as body fat and burn carbs and protein for immediate energy instead. I would typically consume anywhere from 400 to 600 grams of carbs. Why so many carbs, you wonder? Because eating carbohydrates is the most effective way to increase leptin levels. Jenkins and colleagues shows that carbohydrate feeding can increase leptin levels, which is exactly what we want. While dieting, your glycogen stores progressively decline, and with them your strength and muscle endurance as well. Acutely increasing carbohydrate intake is an easy way to fill them back up and thus improve your performance in the gym. Setting up my refeeds this way would result in minimal or no fat gain. On some refeeds, I would sometimes see a significant drop in weight because of my activity. Number 4, food swapping. When getting to 8% body fat, the reality is that you have to eat relatively low calories. Swapping certain foods for others can make an incredible difference, and here are some examples of foods that I incorporated. Instead of rice or potatoes, I incorporated pumpkin because of the enormous volume and high fiber, which helped tremendously with my hunger. Swapping pasta with zucchini noodles. Let me explain. 2 servings of pasta is 400 calories, 84 carbs, 2 grams of fat, and 14 grams of protein. For those calories, it's just too little to make an impact on my diet. This is where I introduced zucchini noodles. For the exact same serving as the pasta, it gives you 77 calories, 14 grams of carbs, and a sixth of that in pasta, 1 gram of fat, and finally 6 grams of protein. The taste is amazing, it's easy to get your serving of vegetables, and a great source of micronutrients. You could eat 5 times the amount of zucchini noodles to match that of pasta and still add your favorite sauces and ground beef. Simply swapping my cold beverages for 0-calorie drinks was also another option that allowed me to ensure I'm never drinking my calories. So, hope you enjoyed the video. As I promised, I'm gonna pick 3 winners for 3 gift cards of Alphalete, Gymshark, or EHP Labs. I am going to use the random comment picker. I'm gonna do that right in front of you guys here. I'm copying the link of the previous video. I'm gonna drop it in here, right? I'm gonna collect the YouTube comments and it's gonna tell us exactly how many there were. So there was exactly 236 comments in total, and we're gonna start the raffle off. The first winner is going to be Odin Reacts, right? That's winner number 1. We're gonna pick another one. The second winner of the gift card is Edgel Dubray. The third winner is going to be Hans Joseph Hasberg. Awesome. I am going to pick another 3 All you have to comment down below is which part of the video was new to you, what you think was helpful, or just comment anything so you can enter yourself in the next raffle. You can just say, hey Mike, I enjoyed the video, whatever. All you have to do is like the video, be subscribed, and number 3, drop a comment. I'll pick another 3 winners in the next video. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.